y'all. You listen to the Gary Owen podcast. Hashtag Get Some. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. You can listen to this on iTunes. Just search Gary Owen, hashtag Get Some, or go to YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Gary Owen.com. As always, recording this in Cincinnati, Ohio at Timeless R. Well, it's Timeless Recording Studios, but their Instagram is Timeless R Studio. And it just came to my attention that there's many more podcasts being recorded here thanks to my plugs. And so I asked for a little hookup. I asked for a discount because you do podcasts are not free. So we'll see. Next week I might be back in my house. I'm going my schedule real quick. This weekend I'm in Richmond, Virginia at the Funny Bone. That's October 5th through the 7th. Then I'm in Washington, D.C. next weekend, October 13th. I'll be with Lil Rel from the new show Rel on Fox and the movie Get Out. Me and him are at the theater at the MGM National Harbor Casino. I did it last year with Deion Cole. That's a beautiful venue. And that casino is like a mini Vegas right in the middle, right outside of D.C. and Maryland. It's crazy. And then October 18th to the 21st, I'm in Ontario, California at the Improv. October 26th, I'm in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook. He's doing his charity event. And then the first 2 weeks in November, I'm in Houston, Texas at the Improv. And November 17th, I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Sanger Theater. And December 15th, I'm coming home to Cincinnati at the Taft Theater. And then New Year's Eve, I'll be in Dallas, Texas, like I always am, at the Verizon Theater. It's actually in Grand Prairie, which is right outside of Dallas, but that's another beautiful venue too, right there. Gonna address something real quick, and then we'll get into the lighter part of my show. And this is even kind of light, but a couple weeks ago I was on the podcast, and I was addressing the Cat Williams, Tiffany Haddish situation where he went off on Rel, and it's and I've been corrected. It's Gerard Carmichael. I keep calling him Gerald Carmichael. Very similar to how Brian Russell kept getting called Byron Russell when he played for the Utah Jazz. So my apologies, Gerard Carmichael. But Cat went on the rant. I went on my podcast, tried to give an even keel analysis of what Cat was saying, and sure enough, all these gossip websites, VladTV, Madame Norier, Ice Cream Combos, the Jasmine brand, their headline was, Gary Owen agrees with Cat Williams, says Tiffany Haddish is not the funniest comedian out there. Way to twist my fucking words. What I said is Tiffany blew up off Girls Trip. That's what, more than anything else she's done in her career, Girls Trip the movie is what took her to another level. I said, yeah, she's been a stand-up for a while, but she hasn't done anything in stand-up that resonated, that made her blow up. That's not saying she isn't funny. It's saying for whatever reason, that didn't take her to the next level. The movie Girls Trip did. Similar to Chris Tucker and Rush Hour. Chris Tucker was on Def Jam. Chris Tucker was in a few other things, but Rush Hour took Chris Tucker to a whole nother level. When you think of Chris Rock, you don't think of movies, you think of stand-up. Now, even though Chris Rock has done, 100 movies, what you think of Chris was, back in 96, he did the stand-up special on Comedy Central. It just took Chris Rock to another level. Dave Chappelle, you think of stand-up. Now, you think of the Chappelle Show, that really took him to another level. But when you think of Dave Chappelle, you don't think movies, you think stand-up comedian. Tiffany Haddish, you don't think stand-up, you think funny actress, funny movies. It's not a knock on her stand-up. At no point did I say Tiffany Haddish is not funny. What I said is, I gave my favorite stand-up comedian, who I think as a female, who my favorite is, no different than Chris Rock, always saying he thinks Dave Chappelle is the funniest stand-up. He's not saying other people aren't funny. He's just saying his favorite. And if you ask 100 people, they'll give you their favorite stand-up. They're not going to say other people aren't funny. They're just going to give you their opinion on who their favorite is. I gave my opinion, who I thought was my favorite, who I think is the funniest female stand-up comedian. And I said it was some more. At no point did I say Tiffany Haddish is not funny. So way to twist my fucking words and say Gary Owen says Tiffany Haddish isn't the funniest comedian. That leads people to think I'm bagging on Tiffany and saying she doesn't deserve her success and she hasn't worked hard. It's the complete opposite. I've known Tiffany for probably 16, 17 years, I bet. Might even be closer to 20. And so I've seen her progress, and I always followed her from afar, just like I followed a lot of other comics. You keep dibs on people. It's no different than ball players. I'm sure every quarterback gets in the box score on Mondays and checks to see what the other quarterbacks did, or running backs see what the other running backs did. I mean, they're just checking the stats. Same with comedians. You're always keeping track of what other comedians are doing. And I'm never, ever that comedian to shit on comics, because I know the grind we go through when you first start out, staying at shitty hotels, getting on shitty bus rides, going to shitty comedy clubs or shitty bars for shit money, and then as you progress, things get better as you get older. I'm not one to shit on comics. I know what we go through. And if you're a comic, whether I think you're funny or I don't think you're the funniest, if you're doing original material and you're out there on the road, I can't do nothing but respect that. And I'm not going to hate on somebody because they get some success. I'm not going to piggyback on their success and try to use their name to benefit my career by bagging on them. I don't do that. That's just not my makeup. I remember 5 years ago, I hired Tiffany. I gave her $100 and we did a YouTube video. And you can go to YouTube and look it up. And we did a YouTube video called Twerking for Jesus. And I'm literally in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm walking on the sidewalk. I'm with a buddy of mine. And, it's the Bible Belt. So we're seeing a church and then we're seeing a bar. We're seeing a church and we're seeing a bar. And then I go, dang, you can literally twerk. I go, and then go get saved the next day. And we're walking home from lunch and I go, twerking for Jesus, twerking for Jesus. And my buddy started laughing. I was like, I should write a song about that. It was just a goofy video. And I called Tiff. I remember she came to my hotel room and I just said, hey, you want to do this goofy video? I got this song called Twerking for Jesus. I need somebody that can twerk. That's it. So we go in my bathroom. She gets on this counter where girls would do their makeup, and she's got these booty shorts on, and Tiffany's just twerking. And she ain't got the biggest ass, but it was enough. And she just starts twerking. And I remember Tiffany saying, hey, man, you think this is going to hurt my career? And in my brain, I'm like, Tiff, nobody knows you. Right back then, 5 years ago, I go, nobody knows you, Tiff. What do you mean hurt your career? And what's funny is she did it, and then when we got done, I forgot to give her the $100. And literally, she's just looking at me. I'm looking at her, and I go, hi, Tiff, thanks, man. We're going to get something to eat. You want to go? She goes, no, I got to go home, do something. And she just kept staring at me, and I was like, hello? And she goes, yeah, you got the $100? I was like, oh, shit. And I gave her the $100 cash. I just completely forgot. But she just stared at me like, you got that 100 for this? And it's just funny that I never, the thing about me is I never reposted the video after Girls Trip or tried to be like, look, I knew Tiffany when. I mean, I just was like, because I remember my guy that does my website and stuff, he was like, yo, repost the video. Tiffany's hot right now. I said, nah. I said, that's me trying to like what people call clout chase. Like, no, I'm not going to repost it. And what's crazy is, even without reposting it, it was just sitting on YouTube for a while. And then Tiffany took off. And then it like all of a sudden, it got all these new views. It literally got like 50,000 views in the last year on top of what I already had because Tiffany took off. So if you search Tiffany or my name, it might pop up, I guess. I don't know how people just find videos on YouTube. I guess similar to me, I'll just put people get knocked out. And I'll watch people get knocked out on YouTube sometimes. So I just want to address that. At no point did I ever say Tiffany Haddish is not funny. I just gave who I thought the funniest stand-up was. And then I tried to give a kind of even keel analysis of what Cat Williams said without showing emotion or hate or despise or jealousy for anybody. So way to twist my fucking words. I know what it is. You're trying to generate traffic to your website. But, I've done numerous interviews of VladTV. So I knew Vlad. I knew what he was doing because I was like, but if you watch the podcast from a couple weeks ago, you'll see what I'm saying. I don't say Tiffany isn't funny. I just say whatever she's done in stand-up, for whatever reason, didn't resonate with like Girls Trip did. And that's no different than a lot of other stand-ups. There's always that one thing that just, boom, takes you over the top. Ricky Smiley did Lil Daryl the year I hosted Comic View, and it just took him to another level. I mean, there's always that one thing for whatever, and you don't know what it is. You don't know where it's going to come from, and you just don't know. And for her, it was Girls Trip. I never once said she's not a funny stand-up or she should stop doing stand-up, and how dare people say she's the queen of comedy or she's the new hot thing in comedy. Look, I like Tiffany. I've always liked her. And I'm not going to sit here and try to bag on somebody's success just to draw views like some of these other websites did. All right. Enough with that. It's a great week. The Bengals won. We're 3-1. Last week I had my dad on, so I had to bring him back again because this is a great week this week. I don't think could this week get any better?
No.
Well, for you especially, your daughter got married with my sister, and then the Bengals win.
The Bengals went big. By the way, for the record, my favorite comedian, I'm not biased.
I'm your favorite.
Gary Owen. Just saying.
Okay, who was your favorite comedian growing up?
Probably Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor was your favorite?
Yeah. I love Richard
Was you
Pryor.
allowed to listen to him?
No, it was strictly incognito. There's no way.
Because I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I
had to go in the
love
basement
him.
or put on a Richard Pryor album?
I mean, back then it was, I just didn't listen to him with mom and dad knowing. So,
was you like, when you was in high school? Well, was Richard Pryor when you was in high school?
Yeah, pretty much. He was big then. It was when Gene Wilder, they were together for a few movies and stuff. And then I followed his stand-up. We didn't have, computers or anything like that, but albums.
Big-ass albums.
Big-ass, vinyl, Shino vinyl. Yep.
So you be in the basement with your boys?
Yeah, big time. He was awesome. Wow.
Smoking weed?
Smoking weed, yeah. A little bit of both.
I've always heard that like a lot of people were like, your age group, and they're like, yo, Richard Pryor was the one like everyone would sneak. Yeah. And because you weren't allowed to listen to it with your parents.
It's rated X, rated R. Cheech and Chong, too. That album just blew up. I used to sneak.
I had, for some reason, I had a record player. Yeah. And when I was like 8 years old, the two albums I had was Sha Na Na. Remember that? So Sha Na Na? Yeah. And I just brain farted. I had the Sha Na Na. Who'd you just say?
Cheech and
Chong.
Cheech and Chong, man.
Yeah. And then I would listen to that album, and I didn't know what they was talking about. And I would I remember I was in third grade, and I was at recess, and I go, no stems, no seeds that you don't need.
I knew exactly what
gold is badass weed. I had no idea. I'm sitting there just like playing basketball and with kids 8 years old. No stems, no seeds that you don't need.
It was awesome.
Teacher was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
good
an album.
Stuff. Yeah. I wore it out. Yeah.
So the Bengals win on Sunday. We're 3-1. I flew down to Atlanta for the game. And I tell you what, that's one of the funnest stadiums I've been in.
I'd love to go sometime.
Like I've heard, now I've been to a Raider game, and Raider game is dangerous. You don't feel like loosey-goosey safe. You feel like it could go left at any moment. Yeah. And I've never been to Philly for a game. I heard it's like that with Philly fans. Yeah. Cincy, we're pretty even keel. You got drunks, but they're not just going to fight you at the drop of a dime over a football game. You got to push them. But you can walk away.
Pittsburgh game can be pretty volatile. I mean,
Pittsburgh game can be volatile.
Can get ugly,
I've only been to Pittsburgh for a Bengals game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like if Tampa came or something.
Yeah.
Now I went to a Pittsburgh game probably, it was probably 12 years ago.
Yeah, you took me up there.
We went to a Sunday night game.
Sunday night game. It was
we sat in Casey Hampton's suite.
I
don't remember shit.
Yeah, I know. Night. You were
I drank a whole bottle of Captain Morgan.
I remember pouring your ass out of there, man. That was fun. That was like the highlight. That's when Shaq was playing for Cleveland. And you went down and
to his suite. Yeah. That cool. I think that helped me get on the Shaq All-Star thing. I was like, yo, Shaq, that was fucked
cool.
up. And I'm like, Shaq, you got to put me on. You got to put me on, man.
Yeah.
But I went to a Steeler game. They played the Bengals. God, that had to be 12 years ago. Yeah. And the Bengals took the lead. I remember I was sitting there, and this guy, and I'm always careful. I don't want to get my ass kicked at the game. So I never bag on the other team. I just root for our team.
Right.
So I'm not be like, fuck yeah, somebody gets hurt from Pittsburgh.
Colors. Yeah.
So the Bengals take the lead, and I go, I stand up, and me and my buddy, and it was Paul, one of my best friends, dude, Paul Johnson. We're clapping. We're like, yeah. This guy stands up. And he goes, hey, man, you stand up one more time, we're going to have problems. And I look back, and I went, I just got back from Iraq. I can't help it. The Bengals are playing the Steelers here. He goes, I'm sorry. With the same anger. He yelled, I'm sorry.
The same shit.
I need it, man. Paul goes, how'd you come up with that? And I go, I just know we ain't getting our ass kicked.
No shit.
Next thing I know, the beer guy comes. The guy bought us beers.
Did he
because
really?
He thinking we're war veterans and shit.
I lost my best friend, man.
No, I got the high and tight, so I look like I'm in the military. Paul's bald. Paul had a black dude.
Yeah,
so we look like we were military guys. So it was funny because I was like, oh, got out of that one.
Yeah.
That's been the only. Now I was in Cleveland one time, and I'll never forget this game.
That could be bad.
I went to Cleveland, and it was Cleveland and the Patriots, and it was right before Tom Brady. I got in. It could have been the year he got in, or the time before.
Before Bledsoe,
because Bledsoe was a quarterback, and they both were so bad, and there was no energy in the stadium. And I remember thinking, who wants to go to these games? Like Patriots and Browns. This is before Brady came in.
Yeah.
I was literally like, the Patriots suck.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to go see them play?
Years.
And so I go, and I'm leaving the stadium, and I'm with, I think I'm with another comic. And this guy literally, I think the Patriots won, and this Browns fan literally goes, hey, man, you hitting on my wife? I left field. I'm just walking. And I go, what? And he goes,
wife.
You hit on my wife? And I looked at him, and I looked at his wife, and I went,
she needs a dental plan.
No, I said, you're giving yourself way too much credit right now. Like, I'm really going to hit on your wife. So, but the difference between Atlanta, like I was bingled out. I got this bingle bathrobe that I wear to the game. And it's obnoxious.
Yeah, it's cool.
Obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I got this, and a fan gave me that. A fan showed up at my show and gave me this elaborate robe.
Oh, it's neat looking.
And so I got to walk. Mohamed Sanu, shout out to Mohamed Sanu. He's got a suite. He let me sit in a suite. And the way the suites were in Atlanta, I thought we were going to be up top. No, they have, it's really cool. They got these end zone suites. Yeah. So they sit up about 15 feet in the back of the end zone. So you got a good view of the game, and you're right there. So if like we had Julio Jones was here, and then Mohamed Sanu was right next to him. So if those guys score, they can literally give the ball to their family or everything.
Oh, shit.
And I guess the week before, Mohamed scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the touchdown he gave to his girlfriend, and then the 2-point conversion he gave the ball to his mom, and they're standing there. And I noticed every time the Falcons would come towards the end zone we was sitting in, his whole family would move to the front row.
Trying to get that ball?
Just in case he got one.
Yeah.
And there was one point, Matt Ryan threw a dime, and just, I don't know, it was just off, and the Bengals actually defended it well. And the whole family was like, oh! And then it was going right to Muhammad. I was like, that'd have been cool if he would have flipped that ball up and I would have seen it. But the Atlanta fans were just fun. There wasn't no, like, we about to fight you or not like that. Like, they're bagging on me, I'm bagging on them. But it was just a good vibe. And I've never been to a stadium with so many black people, like black fans. I bet you half their season ticket holders are black.
Wow.
Like, you go to a Cincinnati game, you see black people at a Bengals game, you're like, they must know somebody on the team. Well, that's just what you think.
You remember when Michael Vick, that was, I mean, he was like a phenomenon, and he was a great quarterback, and I'm sure that put butts in the seats. I mean, right there,
similar to Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Playing golf.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I started watching golf. It's
but Atlanta's a black city, though. Like, you go to Atlanta, it's just like, it's like, you know, there's $1 million corporations run by black people in Atlanta. So they got a lot of season ticket holders.
That scoreboard's unbelievable.
Oh, in Atlanta?
Oh,
it goes around the whole stadium.
Jesus.
So I just remember thinking, God, because you go to a Bengals, you go to Utah Jazz game. I went to Utah Jazz game, and literally, it's not just white; it's blonde hair, blue-eyed white. Oh, okay. And right behind the Jazz bench there's this section, and you see all the black people, and I go, that's all players' wives, girlfriends, and families. You know exactly where the Jazz family section
Everybody
is.
else is
friends and family.
Lily White.
Lily.
Yeah.
Lily.
There's
no hip hop at the Jazz game being played. And that's the thing, too. Atlanta, pre-game, during the game, it's all hip hop being played. Because I like going to Bengals games, but god damn, we need a new theme song. We got this
do.
Cincinnati Bengals.
But it's so cheesy, it's good.
Oh, it's,
you know what I mean? It's just fucked up, but I still sing it.
You get caught up at a Bengals game. Let me tell you something. When I went to the game in London a couple years ago, so it was a home Bengals game. Yeah. That's what it was considered. So they were playing the Bengal music. Yeah. I didn't realize how bad our theme songs were with nobody singing them. Because it was, so at timeouts and stuff, they would play Bengal music, and literally it was going, Cincinnati Bengals.
This is bad. It's so bad, it's good.
Cheer to victory. Nobody's singing it. The whole stadium's like this.
The hell is that stuff?
This song sucks when nobody's singing it or into it.
Yeah.
But I had a blast. Now, you were watching the game at your house, right?
Oh, yeah. I had Matt, my future son-in-law, get that straight. And Mark and Kate, my friends from Colorado.
Yeah, they were over.
And we had negative. It was negative. I didn't think we were going to win it.
People don't know.
Bad. Yeah.
Every Bengals game, I have to start turning my phone off. Yeah. Because as soon as the game starts, my dad will be like, "We're fucked.
We're screwed.
We fucking suck. That guy's terrible.
Defense that sucks, man.
It's bad. And if the Bengals win, he's like this. He goes, "Wow."
Yeah. Well, you know what? When AJ caught that pass, I was negative. Greg was laying there. My son-in-law now. He's laying on the couch. And as soon as he caught that pass, I jumped up. I went, I knew we were going to win. I knew it.
Not a doubt in my fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
What are the announcers saying? Because I'm at the game. I can't hear what the announcers are saying. Are they being optimistic or pessimistic?
They were, for me, it's pro-Atlanta.
The announcers?
It's kind of, I just, because I don't know. I feel like the Bengals they don't get much respect
at all.
And they really don't. And from the announcers too, I don't think they do. But that's just being a Bengals fan. I'm pretty much ate up. So I don't know.
The thing about it, we're 3-1. It's a great time to be a Bengals fan.
It's awesome.
Nobody thought we'd be 3-1, especially with our best defensive player out, which he comes back this week, Vontez, and our starting running back, who
Mixon.
If you look at how good Joe Mixon is right now. Nobody's been able to run on Baltimore. Baltimore's only given up 65 points in 4 games. Bengals got 31 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they completely shut down Pittsburgh's running game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and there was a couple runs where the left side of the Bengals line is decent. The right side's kind of weak. He went to the right side and just completely changed fields and cut back to the left. And he's coming back. Vontez come back. Now, we lost Tyler Eifert, which hurt. That was disgusting.
God, that was ugly.
See, we didn't know what happened. We're watching the game, and it happened on the other end of the field. So we see him go down. I thought it was his back.
Oh, my God.
And then
nasty.
I didn't know until after the game. When I saw him come out with the air cast, I go, well,
Gary,
what happened?
And they kept showing it. I mean, it was like, come on, man. Just the guy's ankle was obviously broken. He's laying there in tears. I'm like, quit. There's no need to show it more than one time. I mean, without hurling. Jeez,
it was like was it like the Super Bowl when Tim Crumry went out against the 49ers?
Yeah, snapped it. Yeah.
I remember watching that Super Bowl game, and Crumry's leg, here's your leg. It literally bowed like you're pulling a bow and arrow string.
It was bad.
And the announcer goes, I think I got the wind knocked out of him. I was like,
that's a concussion.
I'm like 12 years old going, no, the fuck you
shit me.
Your leg don't move like
blind?
That.
What the fuck? Jeez.
And then he just kept showing his leg move in this awkward motion.
God, man. Jeez.
So now this week, I think Vontez is back. Here's my thing about Vontez Burfict coming back to the Bengals, though. He's going to get fined. He's going to get penalties because of his reputation.
They've already thrown a flag.
I would not blitz him at all because if he touches the quarterback, they're going to throw it.
Oh, yeah.
He's a marked guy. That's the good and bad about Vontez being back. That defense is going to amp up, though.
Oh, they will. I mean, he's a leader. He's a leader of the defense. And I think we'll play better. We can't stop the run.
Yeah. Well, Miami doesn't have, they got average offense, but it's not like it's
Right.
It isn't like New England or Green Bay's coming like that. But
we got a lot of momentum for sure.
That's for sure. I just
hope we don't lay an egg.
Yeah, I don't think we will. Happen. I think a team. It's gonna be so hot. Listen, there's gonna be so much energy within the locker room with Vontez back.
Yeah,
and I think Mixon's coming back this week.
Yep.
I don't think we'll lay an egg this week. I just hope we
I'll
don't lay an egg against Pittsburgh.
Well, that could be a trap game. Yeah, because they're not winning. Pittsburgh's not winning. So,
but they always beat us.
Yeah,
I can't remember last time we beat them.
I can't either. Jeez,
it was 2015.
Yeah,
we didn't beat them in 16, 17, 18 in a playoff game. What is it? 8 in a row they beaten us. 9 out of last 10.
We just don't. And we have them usually. We got a lead certain times of the game, and we somehow find a way to lose. So
that's the thing. Ben Roethlisberger and Marvin Lewis came in at the same time. His rookie year was Marvin's first year as a coach, and that's one guy that's had our number the entire time.
First round Hall of Famer. He's really, really hard to like Cincinnati, but he's an awesome quarterback.
I remember when he got drafted. Now you got to realize I grew up in Oxford, Ohio, so I'm one of the few guys that really knows Miami of Ohio football and follows it. Not Miami, Florida, Miami of Ohio.
Right.
When he got drafted, I was in Pittsburgh that summer, like June of 2003. I'm telling every TV, every radio, and I don't know. I'm just saying, you guys got best quarterback in the draft. Best quarterback. And they're like this, whatever.
Yeah.
I come back to Pittsburgh the next year after his phenomenal rookie season. I go, I told you guys. And now everybody goes, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
You told us.
You told us.
I go, I did. Motherfuckers, I did.
Yeah.
Check the tape.
Yeah. They don't know what they have. You can't tell. I was a big Andy fan when he came out, and like you said, Andy's hot or cold. If he's on, you're gonna win. That's it.
Yeah, if Andy's locked in and he has time, Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Then he can play with anybody. It's just when he gets happy feet and he gets hit on that block, which, I mean, honestly, can you blame him? If you keep getting hit from your back,
no kidding,
you're gonna get happy feet and you're gonna be like, that clock's going. That's what makes like guys like Brady and Rodgers so good is you don't realize the subtle movements they make in the pocket that can avoid pressure, and they got like eyes in the back of their head.
Yeah, I know.
They can feel somebody coming, just take a subtle step up.
They're fun to watch.
Now, did you watch Monday Night Football last night?
Part of it.
That Patrick Mahomes?
He's for real. He is
that kid from Kansas City? Oh, my God.
He's really, really good. Well, it's fun to watch.
Well, I go on Twitter last night, and I go, he was the number 10 pick in the draft last year, and I go, the 9 teams that passed on him, you fucked up. And I didn't realize the Bengals was 9.
Yeah.
Bengals was number 9.
Oh,
we could have had him.
Oh, shit.
I said, oops.
Maybe we made a mistake. Nothing against you, Andy. No. We love you, man.
So this past week, we talked about my sister getting married.
It was a great wedding, man.
So Saturday night, she gets married. And now that's my first Catholic wedding I've been to. Now, you told me Catholic weddings are going to be long.
Yeah.
So I'm in the little holding area with the priest.
Put a little pressure on him.
And I told him, I go, hey, Father, what's the over-under on this service? And he goes, he was like, what are you saying?
I can't believe you said that, man.
Yeah, so I basically had a bet with him. I said, what's the over-under? An hour? You think you can get this under an hour? And then he's like, I'll see what I can do.
He was cool. He was good, dude.
And 55 minutes.
Yep.
He came at 50. Yep. So I don't know if you got a videographer, but
we do.
When the groomsmen were leaving, I gave him like a high five dap. Yeah. I was like, all right, 55 minutes, Father.
He's a cool dude. He really was. Colorful little guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
He told the groomsmen, the wedding party, if you guys drink, man, if you're drunk, you're out of here. I'm smelling your breath.
Before the wedding.
And they didn't drink.
Well, they got in after.
Well, yeah, they did. They made up for that time lost.
Well, you got to realize, my sister got married to a great guy. His name's Greg. He's a good dude.
Family.
But he's from a small town. It's called Fort Recovery, Ohio.
Yeah.
So what I've realized is when small town guys, when they realize they're not big city guys and they hang on to that small town, I think they're what they want to grasp onto is we can party harder than you. You don't know how to party in these small farm towns. And I think those guys was trying to prove they can hold their liquor.
They convinced me.
Drink.
They convinced me. Yeah.
So here's the thing about my dad's wife. My dad's wife, name's Jane. Great lady. She's the ultimate planner. So she's got this whole wedding structured from minute to minute to minute. So she's got everything planned out. So I get to the wedding. I drove myself, and then I get to the church. So I'm thinking, where are we going next? Where's the reception at and stuff like that? Jane goes, oh, no, Gary, you got to get on the party bus. We're going to like 3 different locations to take pictures with all the groomsmen. I went, oh.
Yeah, you were stung. She stung you.
My car's at the church. And so I get on the party bus. We go take these pictures. We get to the reception hall. I asked the party bus driver, I said, hey, man, my car is back at the church. How do I get back to church? He goes, I don't know. I'm paid to drop you off here. I was like, oh, you're one of those. Not like, man, I'll take you back or anything like that. Nah, you're done. So it gets to the end of the night. I'm fucking stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I go, well, goddamn, Jane planned everything except Gary's ride back to the church.
She left you out.
This is me. And then I tried to call Uber. My Uber got lost.
Yeah.
So I end up getting back to the church eventually.
Yeah.
But I will say, relatively speaking, that was a drama-free reception, with the exception of somebody putting their head through the wall in the bathroom.
Little itsy bitsy little problem. This guy's like 6'5". I don't know who he is. He's taking a piss, and for some reason, he felt it necessary to launch himself into the wall there and put a nice little melon head shot right there in the wall. I don't know what the fuck.
So do you guys have to pay for that?
Oh yeah, yeah. So believe me, yeah, I've heard about it. My God, I couldn't believe it, man.
Well, you got to realize, Greg played my sister's husband now. He played college basketball at University of Findlay, and he played in Spain for a year or two. So he had a lot of. I never seen a taller wedding party. Not the groomsmen. I'm talking about like he had all his old college basketball buddies from high school and college show up, and I'm a big dude, and I was like, I feel short.
Yeah,
on the dance floor.
I do too.
And this is small. This is classic small town. So before the wedding, now I'm on the party bus, and I will say, I never had moonshine before. This guy breaks out a mason jar, unscrews it, and this moonshine, this mason jar is getting passed around to all the dudes. It comes to me, and I'm like, for one, I was like, I don't want to drink after you, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But then I wiped off the mason jar, and then I said, I'm gonna take a sip just to be one of the guys. There were some cinnamon sticks in the moonshine.
It's good. Yeah.
That shit was so fucking good. Holy shit.
It's a creeper too. It'll creep up on you. You're fucked up. Well, you know it.
When I got it was about 3/4 full. And when I got done, it was about 25% left. And the guys kept looking at me like, Gary, I go, ain't giving it up, guys. Because they had a cooler full of beer. I don't drink beer. So that's the only thing I was sipping on. And all of a sudden I felt it. I just felt it. I go, oh shit. I said, take it. That moonshine stuff, and it tasted so good.
Yeah.
I never had cinnamon moonshine.
If you drink like a whole bunch of it, you end up putting your head through the wall in the bathroom. That's what happens. I'm telling you.
Now, whenever you go to a wedding, I always weddings and funerals is the two things. When you go, okay, next time don't do this or do this or don't do this. So when I go to a funeral, I'll look at my wife and be like, don't let this shit happen to my funeral.
No.
Don't let that shit happen to mine. Like you're going to have any say in it.
No, right. No, you got nothing. Yeah.
Same with the wedding. You'll be like, I like this, but I don't like this.
Yeah.
Now that it's been 3-4 days, what would you not have changed, and what would you have changed with the wedding? Because like you said it's not going to go perfect. You know it's not going to go perfect.
I think like you, I probably would have got a sound check for the DJ because found out that people behind couldn't hear.
Mm-hmm. I told you,
especially my speech, they didn't hear it.
So you gave a great speech, and you gave it. You got the wedding parties at the table, so you're giving it to your daughter, basically,
right?
And so I could hear it. It was a great speech.
Yeah,
but I found out later on some of the tables behind you couldn't because there wasn't speakers projecting.
Kenya said she couldn't hear it. So, and she said, hey, look, I don't think anybody in the back could hear it. So I would do that. Anything else, I think it went perfect. I really do. It was beautiful. I mean, I cried some ugly tears. I did not expect that, but you just get emotional.
I caught a couple, you and Jane, your wife, I caught a couple ugly cry faces.
Oh my God. And you can't control it. I saw your head go down too. I saw you when Kayla was giving her little speech.
Yeah,
you got emotional.
Yeah, I gather it. Well, you got to realize there's only, there's 3 of us. Yeah. I got my identical twin sisters, and then me, and obviously, their bond is closer than mine.
They got the same DNA, man. Twin,
they
got same DNA.
Yeah, so they're same mom, dad.
Yeah,
and God, they slept in the same room.
Oh yeah,
for 90% of their lives.
Oh, they did. Yeah, we had them separate rooms, but they would every morning we'd get up and they'd be together. It's even in high school.
I ain't gonna lie, I did feel some kind of way that I show up and these two chicks got matching tattoos. You know what I mean? I was like this. I go, hello.
Close, man.
Can I get a dot on my finger or something? Can the three of us bond? It's like, and then I'm reading it
down here somewhere.
It's like on her forearm, and it says half your soul, and another half soul, and it's like some band.
It's a cool thing. It is.
It's cool. I'm almost glad they didn't call me. I got one tattoo. That shit hurts.
Yeah, I know.
That shit's hurt.
I almost got a tattoo
in the Navy.
I was in Hong Kong, fucked up. And I just didn't have enough beer in me because my buddy got one on his right cheek.
His butt cheek?
Butt cheek. And it had, heart with mom and the arrow through it. And this dude is scammed up. He couldn't sit down for like a week.
Hold on.
I'm like,
God got
damn.
A tattoo with a heart
on
mom on his ass?
I thought that was a little tacky. But
that's a terrible,
he's 19.
Hold on. That's a terrible tattoo. Look, it's a terrible place.
I love you, man. Yeah, that was dumber than shit. It really was.
Jeez.
You said, put that right here, man. What are you doing?
You didn't try to talk him out of it?
I couldn't believe he was doing it.
Now, what would you have gotten? If at that moment, Hong Kong, you're 19 years old.
Probably would have got something real cheese. I wanted to put, if he's going to do it on your ass like he did, okay, I was going to do it. Just put in there like U.S. grade A #1 beef. Like right here. Right there.
Stamp.
Would have worked. Yeah. Something like that. That's what I was thinking of anyway.
I saw one tattoo on social media. I thought it was great. So this girl had it was a bikini, and she had a bikini line. So it was basically right above her pussy. And she lowered it to show, I don't know where I saw it, and it said, "Lucky you." That's a good one.
That's great. Yeah.
That's
my baby girl.
That's some dad. That's my girl.
That's my girl.
That's some self-esteem out of this world.
Big time, man.
Lucky you.
Lucky you.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. I enjoy. I was on when I was on Instagram during the wedding when I was on the party bus. I kept making videos going the whitest wedding ever.
Awesome.
Because I've never been. I know I'm white, but I haven't been around that many really, really white people in a while, like partying.
Yep.
And the songs that I'm making fun of, like the pop songs you hear on the radio, those dudes and girls, it had a different meaning to them.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was fun. I mean, I think the music selection was great, especially my picks.
Yeah.
My James Taylor song came on. Everybody was singing it.
It took me back to high school. There was a lot of 90s hip hop, 90s R&B.
Queen. They did a song by Queen. Everybody was singing at the top of their lungs.
Well, I'll tell you what. Greg is my sister's husband now. His mom, and now you told me she played high school basketball.
Yeah.
She's a tall lady.
Tall.
I thought she was a cheerleader because at one point, it literally was like 8 50-year-old women trying to do a pyramid like you do in high school.
And
like
they pulled it off.
No, they gave up. The girl on the top gave up.
I see, but
they got the 4 on the bottom. They was on all 4s.
Yeah.
Then they had the 3 get on top of them. And then I was thinking, oh, this ain't going to end well.
That's why I said it's going to be a train wreck.
The one girl tried to get on top of the 3, and she just gave up. She goes, fuck it, take the picture. So it's 4 on 4.
So, I mean, but it was a good effort. It really was. I thought it was going to end badly. I really did. But
where I'm sitting at the bridal table, what do you call it? Bridal party table.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. So the asses are right here. They all got dresses on, but the backside of them are all. I said, this ain't gonna end well.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna get a view I don't need to see. And literally, once they got the pyramid done, and all the girls are standing up and they're pulling out dresses, right? And the girl goes, "You got a nice view, didn't you?" It's like, what?
Absolutely.
Like she gave me a little look, like you got a nice view, didn't you? I told somebody, I go, this is Fort Recovery High School, 1979 homecoming to these women.
These chicks were funnier than hell, man. I had a good time with them.
But I tell you what, I know you always go to Colorado a lot.
Yeah.
And you always tell me about this couple. And I finally got to meet them.
Oh, my God. They're the best. Kate
is from Australia.
She disarms you. Man, I told you a story. We took the twins. They were like 12 or 13. We're in Breckenridge in the summer, and they came up. We're drinking beers in this hot tub. And the guy came out just pissed off because it was bottled beers. And I'm like, oh, shit. All right. Well, by the time Kate got done with this guy, he was bringing us bottled beers. I mean,
so when you were there, he was like, no bottled beers.
No bottled beer. Kate is just one of those people that disarms you. She can just do it.
So he comes out, hey, no bottled beers in the jacuzzi.
Man, you guys must be from Ohio. You don't know this shit. And then
so Kate's from Australia with that Australian accent disarms him.
I'll disarm. And then
all of a sudden he's bringing bottled beers to the jacuzzi.
No, he's stripping down, getting in there with us by the end of it, man. Oh my God, damn, Kate. Jesus Christ. How do you do that, man? Well, she did the same shit.
Yeah.
So we Friday night.
Yeah, we go out. So we go out after the rehearsal dinner Friday night. We go back downtown, got a place downtown. We're partying down there. And I don't have anything in the apartment, like beer or vodka or anything. No, I had vodka and wine, but I don't have a wine opener. I don't have club soda. I don't have juice. I don't have ice. We go to this little gastro pub at the bottom of this building.
They're closing. And
I'm like, hey, you got anything? They're like, no, we're about to close. Well, one girl recognized me. That was good.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, Gary Owen. I go, hey, what's up? And then your Australian friend, Kate. Now I look over. I'm trying to butter this girl up to try to move in. Like, hey, can we get some ice and a wine opener and stuff? I look over. Kate's got the wine opener. The dude's bringing out a bucket full of ice, got about 30 beers lined up. I go, what the fuck? How'd she do that? And then the guy gave me the bill. So I'm thinking it's going to be a couple $100. Because it was probably about 30 beers, a wine opener, a bucket of ice, club soda, got 2 big things of club soda, $47.
Oh, yeah.
$47. Now, you can go to a grocery store and buy 30 beers, but at a bar?
Yeah.
I mean, the beer's at least $4 or $5.
The Kate discount. That's what you got. I mean, she's amazing. Just amazing. I'm so glad you got to meet him, talk with him a little bit.
They was cool.
Talking them up.
Yeah, they was cool, man.
They're the coolest friggin' people.
They are cool. Hell, he timed he got on his phone and got on Google Maps and showed me the route I got to take because I got to drive a U-Haul from Ohio to San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, because in a couple weeks, me and my road manager, Brad.
I'm helping move the furniture. Me and Larry Quinlan.
Well, you know, we're moving. We're moving to California. Yeah. Well, my wife and kids have already been out there, but the house hasn't been ready. So I've been staying back here a lot when I'm not on the road. So me and Brad got to drive this U-Haul cross country. So we called to have movers do it. And it's like, $20,000 to load up the furniture, drive and everything. So I was like, I told Kenny, I go, dude, I could pay Brad way less than that.
Use your dad's back. Why not use my back?
I got enough dudes out here that are retired. I can put old motherfuckers to help move that shit.
Just furnish coffee and donuts. We'll be there.
Yeah, Brad knows how to pack the U-Haul up. He's like, I can pack it up. So I was like, and my thing is with life in general. When I check out, I want to make sure I've seen everything. Yeah. Like I haven't been to Australia yet. I still got to do that. Like there's certain things I want to see. I've never seen that part of the country. I've driven from Ohio down south to Florida. Right. I've driven DC. I took the southern route to San Diego. But I've never driven. The route we're going to take is called Highway 80. And so we're going to go through like Wyoming, Colorado, the Dakotas, like northern. We're not going to hit a lot of big cities.
Right. But
he timed it out. He goes, we're going to get to Omaha the first night we drive, about 12 hours from Cincy. Then we'll get to Salt Lake the second night. And then we'll get to San Francisco the Wednesday night.
Oh, so it'll be a beautiful drive. Beautiful.
Not gonna be able to see shit. We got to pack snacks.
No, you do. Well, the one time I've been out west how many times? The one time I went out west on a hang gliding trip, I could say this. I was taking speed, and
the cops are not going to bust you 40 years later, Dad.
I was going to say, I'm retired. Who gives a shit? But I was taking speed, and it was like 35 hours in a car. And we didn't eat. It was like this. We just drove 35 fucking hours
straight.
It was so stupid. Because then we got there and I slept for like 25 hours. What did you gain? I don't get it.
So you drove from Cincinnati?
We drove from Cincinnati 35 hours to Salt Lake City on speed. And we just drank water and no food, just gas. Here me and my buddy are all the way out. Don't stop, man. Don't. Just keep driving.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's fucking bullshit. Just dumber than hell. Stupid. Don't do that. Just don't fucking do it.
Okay, do the face one more time.
I've never shared that story with you. I'm sorry, man.
You were taking speed out there.
No, I was popping black mollies, just driving my ass off, man. Just dumb. It was stupid.
All right. Well, okay. I'm sweating. I gotta take a break. I gotta go to the bathroom. All right. Congratulations to my sister Emma.
Yes.
And her
Love
husband
that girl.
Greg. So now my other sister gets married October 12, 2019. Kayla, the other side of the twins.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to show up and see what tattoos they got this time.
Yeah. Could be something.
I'm gonna look at them like this.
You'll be involved.
I'm thinking, why don't you get my face?
Yeah. Shit right there. Yeah.
On your arm. All right. Thank y'all. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast. If you want to listen to my podcast, just go to iTunes, search Gary Owen, #Get Some.